welcome back. Do you want to get into Mountain Motor Pro Stock drag racing? You want to be on Real Pro Stock? What is it going to cost you? John, is $150,000 a good number to buy an engine here?
It would probably take that just because it's turned into such trouble to build a new one.
Okay.
In 2007 and 8, those engines were $123,000, and then after the recession that we had, from 2008 and everything got kind of lousy for a few years, the prices actually went down, and they never really came back up near enough. And so, with that in mind, you almost don't want to build one. And all the parts there's no telling how much parts have gone up. But no matter how you priced it, I know that we made more profit in 2008 building a new one than we would today, unless you charge a couple $100,000 for it, which nobody's going to spend that.
Nobody's going to spend that, right?
But you do have to have something to work on.
Yeah.
To rebuild and stuff. So, but we haven't built too many new ones in the last few years. We did one.
And everyone, that's not a solid number. You're going to have to call John and get an updated quote, right? And so, our hope is that, hey, there really are 24 cars showing up here at Galat in a couple of months. And, it does turn into something really big. And hopefully John and the other engine builders will see more activity. And maybe we're showing up in 2 years and we're talking about what they had to expand to hold on to that volume, right? All the refresh volumes, because now you're talking about refresh, right, John?
Yeah.
Selling engine is one thing. Every 30 runs, you're going to have to refresh it, right?
Yeah, and there's parts that you've kind of got a list of stuff that's the most vulnerable. Connecting rods is our big thing, and there's nothing that's going to be in there for probably more than 30 runs. It's just you're asking too much for little areas of the aluminum. So we get pretty fussy about those, and lifters and valves and a lot of the stuff that moves and it sees a tough life. We got to keep replacing those so they don't break. 'Cause when you break one, it could cost you $50,000.
You listening, everybody? You listening? I mean, so you don't want to push it.
Yeah, if you lost the whole shark block or something, it costs a lot of money to fix it.
All right, so now this. I mean, we're talking to the expert now. This guy has the 4-second engine, the 4-flat engine, not the 398 that was in testing. This guy's got the official 4-second engine, so pay attention. John, I saw a lot of marine engines out there on the shop floor, and so what's your percentage? I mean, land racing versus water racing. What's that percentage breakdown?
I think we think we're around 40% or more of is marine stuff.
Wow, 60-40. Wow.
Yeah, but most of them are the same. They're big Mercury Marine twin turbocharged QC4s they call them. It's like a big turbocharged Ford Coyote. The only thing is it's 560 plus inches. It's a really nice engine. It's complicated, but and not easy to get parts for. But they come in pairs, so that's one of the reasons why we had to expand the building, because when they come in, if there's 2 of them, by the time you get them all apart, it uses up 8 roll-arounds and a couple of engine stands, and they take up quite a bit of space.
Quite a bit of space, but you've added on a nice bit of space here.
Yeah, we added on. So,
and it really looks good, and you're doing heads and intake manifolds on that side now, and I'm sure, as everyone knows, that's where the power is, and that's where you're going to make your improvements and put all the nuances into the engine that will take you that 4-second run. But there's a lot of things going on here that I didn't expect. The Porsche engines there, the GTRs, that type of stuff. I didn't expect that at all.
Well, I'm not going to say it's a secret, but we do it all for CCO Performance. It's a big company here in Atlanta that does a lot of the work on the cars and chassis dyno and stuff like that. So they do a lot of upgrades on street cars, and they've got a bunch of race cars that they take to races and stuff, and the things are stupid fast.
Yeah.
They're 2,000 horse motors.
Yeah.
And they're not real big, but they're twin turbo, and it's a really cool deal. But we don't deal with anybody but them on those engines.
Okay.
But you'll see a lot of them around here. there'll be a Porsche thrown in there somewhere or two, and we've done some Ferraris for them and some other stuff. But every one of them's a learning experience because we've never worked on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to learn how to work on some of that. It's more complicated than a drag race car. Some of it.
Impressive, very impressive.
Yeah.
What can an aspiring engine builder learn? What would you say right now during this interview? What would you want to say? Anything?
Well, the big thing is probably with me is every day you get up and you want to make sure you don't run out of money. It's not like you're trying to get rich and we're buying airplanes and stuff. I'm just talking about you want to make sure that everybody gets paid and everybody makes a decent living, and they do what they like, and it's a enjoyable place to work. But to have all that happen is it doesn't happen easily, because and the big thing with this business, and what I was talking about the running out of money part, you have to be careful not to get overextended and have really a lot of payments on stuff. And today, if you were starting out, it'd be pretty darn tough to build a shop like this because you can't buy everything at once, and so if you can't do all the work yourself, you'd have to farm some of it out. And I don't have a good answer for that one. The only thing I know you could do would be buy out a shop that was, maybe the guy's ready to retire or something like that.
Are you saying that you're ready to retire?
No, I'm saying that's the only way.
Wow.
I don't think,
you bring
anybody
up a good point though, right?
Yeah.
John, you built this place, and you know what? There are a whole bunch of wonderful guys out there that are working their butts off for you. And I've seen over the last year or two, organizations that don't have a succession of chain of command.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that you want this place to continue on after you
Mm-hmm.
leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, are you thinking in those terms?
Yeah.
Is there a
sure.
guy out there that knows that he's the next one?
Yeah.
And the next one, and the next one?
Yeah. But I don't know exactly how we would, we haven't got in the business end of that,
Yeah.
But
you're thinking in those terms, right? You're starting.
Well, you think about that a little more with all the stupid stuff that's gone on in the last 2 years.
Right.
And what if I got COVID and I couldn't get over it? And you didn't survive it. Then what happens? And
Right.
you have to at least have a little bit of a plan. But
And
hopefully,
so you're thinking there. You're already there.
yeah. Well, you have to think about that.
Okay. Good.
I have my intentions would be maybe not work as hard, but still work.
Okay.
Most guys in this business don't really retire; they just work less. And a business like this would be, you could sell it to your employees possibly, but you wouldn't really sell it to another company come in and say, "Oh, I want your place." It's not quite like that.
Yeah. It's I'm sure that's a selection process that's well underway, and it takes many years to think about and to navigate those very tough waters. And no one really wants to think about life without them in it, right?
Right. Yeah.
And how it all works out after you're gone. So we're so narcissistic in that we'll live forever, right? So well, John, I think I've taken up enough of your time, right?
No problem.
And it's such an absolute honor to be here with you and to get to know you and over the years and to have an established relationship with a wonderful person like you, John. I know that the drag racing community is a very close-knit environment, a very tight group of people, and they all know each other. And it's been one of the hardest groups to break into.
Oh.
And so when a guy like you has me in his shop and validates what we're doing, it really is an incredible honor. And I got to say, you know what, I was so excited over the past week and a half just to get here, to see you, to see the shop, and to get to know the guys, get to know you better. I think this is the beginning of a multi-decade relationship, and I just hope everyone can feel how much I am so appreciative of your time, and this is an incredible blessing.
Yeah.
And so, John Kaase, Racing Engines in Georgia, outside northeast side of Atlanta. Wow, for me this is history, and I don't think a lot of people have made the chance, have had the time or the permission to do this. So, John, thank you so very much.
No problem.